Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. So, we're back. Live sessions again this week. So, starting off with the first live session of this week with Amo V, who is a professional speaker and also specializes in creating digital workspaces within companies to accelerate better by using artificial technology, which is going to be amazing to discuss. So we're just waiting for AMOV to join in. Should be any moment. Actually, let's just send him a message. Here we go. Super. Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope your week's going really well. Amoe is here, so let's take him on. Super. Amoe, hope all's well. How are you doing?
I'm doing super. How you doing? You good?
Good, good. All is well. Thank you so much for joining in. It's a pleasure to have you on. The whole reason for me to do these live sessions is to spread knowledge, positive energy during these times that we're going through. We think that we're coming out of one hurdle, but we get stuck in another hurdle. It's all over the place. Things are how things are moving in the Western world these days. So it was COVID first, now then it was lockdown, and now the whole protest that's going on. So there's a lot of negativity that's going around in the the human race right now, right? And this
Hmm.
is the positive motion amongst everyone, whoever joins in right now or possibly listens to this live at a later stage, is just to create that positivity. So thank you so much for joining in. And before we start, Amo, if we can know who you are and your real name and what you do, and then we can get the conversation going.
So brilliant. No worries. So I have three different names. My real name is Amandeep, but people call me Amo, Aman, or actually a fourth name, Sunny, whichever one you want to really use. Well, it depends who you are. You could use whatever name. I'm called by the different names. So myself, just a little bit about myself. I'm just an average Leicester boy who lived in many places. I come from a really basic background where, parents come from working class, working very, very hard. Didn't have a lot of money. We used to put milk bottles out, in the cold because we couldn't afford a fridge back then.
Wow, wow.
And, we've gone through a lot of hardships, but through them kind of lessons, you learn to really appreciate a lot of things. But I've had some great people around me, like my uncle Yusuf, who owns a business as well. So I saw loads of business kind of things happening around me. But my love for computers started with a Commodore 64, believe it or not. My dad comes home one day, it's snowing, and it was amazing. Like, introduced me to games, but that was the thing that just triggered everything. From there, I went to university. University was a bit hard for me because I'm a dyslexic. I was someone
Okay,
who took information in a bit slower. I was a bit
okay.
different, but I'm a very visual learner. So for myself, university was okay, but I felt like I dragged myself through it. I know nothing against anybody who does university. University is great. It gives you
Absolutely,
some kind of
absolutely.
stuff that you really need, that degree,
I mean, even if
some people
even if
love it.
you're going to university and you think like yourself, it dragged you on for like whatever the amount of time the course was, 3 years or 4 years. But it's the fact that even I went to university and I thought it was a waste of time. Reason being because I'm doing business right now and all I studied there was marketing, finance, and accounting and all that kind of stuff. But I don't even
Yeah,
use that anymore, apart from the fact that I use my brain to do business. It's the knowledge that you have. But the fact that where university helped me is the exposure. Now, I don't
yeah.
know about yourself, but because I come from Pakistan and I came as a student to this country, the exposure that I got, I mean, it was the first time that I had white friends, I had black friends, brown friends. Obviously, we come from
Yeah,
Pakistan, we're all there.
yeah,
But it was a whole new exposure to deal with people all across, and university is, the British culture is such that uh, one of their biggest exports is education. And people from all over the world, students from all over the world come over here to study. So it was that exposure that I got. And I'm sure that you must agree with that, that the exposure that you get from going to university is second to none. So I think, yes, we go there to get knowledge, but then the exposure is totally different. So,
It is, yeah,
it's
yeah. So university gave me a lot of opportunities to connect with people who have become my business partners and friends now around the world, which is
of course,
crazy. And then it gave me the connection of then as much as the degree wasn't the best thing for me, business and e-commerce and stuff. I moved on to, and I met some great friends, like the household that I was in that you just mentioned, Hindu people, Muslim people, but different people living in the house. And I'm very lucky that a lot of my family are mixed background. And it's amazing, like, to have that, because it brings that variety into your
absolutely,
life, which is, I
absolutely.
think that's why it brought the variety of where I am today. So like I worked for a massive blue chip company, and I worked for many other blue chip companies as well. I ended up staying at one for much longer, but that gave me so much experience, and I'm humbled by it because, there was
Do you
a certain
mind? Do you
individual.
mind? Do you mind giving the names of which blue chip, a few
Yeah,
blue chip
I don't
companies you
mind.
work?
So did a bit of Jaguar, HSBC, British Gas, headhunted by HTC, Android, couple of Google as well. And
Wow.
there's some opportunities that I put down because obviously at that time of my life, because I've got two kids, lovely kids, Alicia and Eva. And obviously, for me, it was, my kids starting to become first. They're the people that I was working for.
Of course.
But the other day, I couldn't go and live abroad and sacrifice that. And it led me on to like going from studying something there.
It must have been a hard sacrifice.
It was a massive sacrifice because obviously when you're working for corporates, you're working long hours. Spending a lot of time out. You're away from home.
Of course.
It impacts a lot of different things, friendships, family, and everything. And then you got to get to that point, when I was working for this energy company, it was great, but, you get culture changes, things change. You think, right, you've done everything. I was doing things with my eyes closed, projects being delivered left, right, and center, projects that were even saving 3 million. You just go into a project and you go on and save 3 million in a couple of
Wow.
weeks.
Wow.
So it came to a point where I thought, right, you know what, I need to start concentrating on what I want to do more of
Of course.
and how I can help people. So, it's just not just IT, AI. I'm also a Forex trader. So a big shout out to a couple of my partners like Hanabe and Pranav and Nisha and many people that work with me today. I'm so proud of people. Like the digital workplace is not digital workplace how we know it, like corporate. The digital workplace has just become so powerful. You could be
Of
plugged in
course.
anywhere.
And plus, in the last 2 months, it's accelerated to highs that you could not even think of. You know, uh, offices, blue chip companies, all their employees, like my friends, and speak to people, they're all working from home. And companies have told them not to come in and all that kind of stuff. So it's like this digital world is now getting to a point where people are enjoying working from home than going into the
Yeah,
office. But it's just how things are moving. So
it's crazy, crazy. Think about the business benefit. Like right now, people working from home, it's the first time it's really tested what the digital workplace can do.
of
And I've
course,
seen massive gaps in the educational area. Like if you look at schools, teachers are struggling. So now there's a gap to really fill that
of
with a
course.
bit of AI, with a bit of how we get them to use technology. And even now, people working at home, think about no more building space that you need to really go into for work.
I'm
How
just
much does that
wondering, I'm
save
just
them?
wondering how, when is all that going to turn into residential?
That's the crazy thing, right? So yeah, digital workplace is crazy.
Of course. So Aman, you spoke about that you had this love for computers from a very young age, from when your father introduced to a computer that he brought to the house. Um, Before that, did you ever think that you're going to do something else rather than computers, like become an astronaut or become a doctor or become a lawyer? You know, Asian backgrounds, that's how it works,
Uh,
right? Either a doctor, either a lawyer, either an accountant. So,
I'm so
did you
I'm
have
so
that, did you have that peer pressure from your parents that, no, son, you got to get into this and not into technology? Did you
they,
have that?
They wanted me to have a degree, but I'm so blessed that my parents, because of our multicultural background, my mum was always encouraging me, you know, from day one, even when I missed the bus and I ran back home and I was a bit upset on my first day at school. And my mum's like teaching me how to tie my tie and saying, son, you come in this world alone. You're going to go alone. You got to really pick yourself up and find the right people
Of
around you.
course.
And, you know, as she's tying that tie and that tie became complete, it was like completing myself and bringing that, you know, that thing within me to push me to go further.
Yep.
And my mom's always been a very big inspiration. Sometimes you may not think I see it like that, but I do. And my father as well. I never thought that IT would have been, I know I was someone who would always like, something's broken, let's fix it, let's have a look at it, something like that. But the moment that computer came in, it was just, wow, what are the possibilities of what can I do? I started getting obsessed with collecting stuff and understanding how does it work. And, you know, it was always the self-teaching that really, really helped more than anything. I would never say somebody else told me this or that. But I did realize, you know, up to a point, you could only go so far, and then you do need to get mentors or people to really help you understand how to unlock your potential. You know, we're human at the end of the day. We're always at 75% where we've got the knowledge, 25% we're continuously just learning, reinventing ourselves and stuff.
Absolutely. And then you finished your degree at university, which was with IT, information technology, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, after that, what did you get into? I mean, you mentioned on our talk that you create digital spaces using AI. You are a professional speaker. You are a Forex trader. You know, that is a hell lot of professions to work around and something to be absolutely proud of, that you put your hands into so many different places. Then that's what entrepreneurship is all about, right? Is creating your space amongst all these businesses. Have your space in there. It doesn't need to be big. You know, you don't need to be a massive Forex trader, or you don't need to be someone like Grant Cardone to be speaking, or you don't need to be someone like Google to be in the AI field. But a small of everything in every field will make you as professional as you may want to be. So how did all of this come about after you finished university?
So the good thing is there was a lot of layering that happened over time. You know, I do believe you can't be a jack of all trades and master of none. You know, you've got to master things, and then you get to a point where you master something and you're still continuously learning, but your hunger grows for something different. So when I came out of university, I'll tell you straight, it was in 40 grand debt. I had no idea, how do I clear it? You know, what do I do? I had a great time at uni. I had a piece of paper which was worth 40 grand. But nobody wanted to give me a job. So like I worked the HMV jobs, I worked at the supermarkets, I did other stuff, you know, I worked for Jaguar for a bit. Then I went to HSBC to find out how their systems, online banking had just come around. So I think it's like fate, the way you get surrounded by stuff, it's layering you for going from web design to this, to that. And, you know, Two Funky Records, you know, they made their website, first site that was selling MP3s. And it was like, wow, you know, you're surrounded by, when you look back at all these things, they layer you up. So when I got to the energy company, it was like, that gave me a hell of a lot of digital skills of, you know, because I've even got into NLP practitioner. I did a master prac. I like self-developing a lot, because I believe the more investment you put in yourself, the more you could put into other people. And that's where the leverage really comes, when you start teaching someone else to do it, and you can walk away a bit more, and they can work with you as a business partner to get that time. And that's the thing. This is what AI does for you, right? Think about it like this. If someone travels to work, 2 hours it takes, 1 hour there, 1 hour back, we'll say tops, right? Might be a bit less. That's like 10 hours in a week and 40 hours in a month, right? That's like one extra employee coming in every time. And AI, instead of like us guys, how we think as single human beings, you know, you think of AI in the future, next 40, 50 years, it can think, it could send itself to go, okay, let's say like all the stuff I've learned, it could go off and go and read about NLP. It could go off and send a bit of its mind to go and find out about properties and stuff and analyze the market. It could go off and look up for it. It can go off in so many different places, but guess what? Because it becomes as a singular thing, it joins up, and that the amount of learning and moving forward, reason for, and that's the stuff that got me really interested in AI. And, you know, how is it happening? You know, it's the businesses are using it everywhere. You don't sometimes even recognize it's happening in your business, but it is, you know, the moment you call in,
Just a
you know,
quick point I want to put out here. I don't know if you watched the Netflix series History 101, which has just been released on Netflix.
yeah,
And in there, an episode is about robotics
yeah,
and AI. And they show the transformation of how the robot, I mean, they created a robot, right? And they said that, okay, um, cut this up. The robot was created to help a woman at home rather than having a butler and have
mm,
this machine there and do this. But then how they transformed that robot into using its own brain to do stuff. So I
yeah.
mean, it's a really good episode to watch in there if you're into technology and robotics and AI. It's a damn good episode to watch of how this technology came about. So I was just making my point there.
Yeah, I know.
Go.
So that's really good that you just said that. So I'll make a really good point on that. So if you
Yeah.
think about it, AI is just at the moment, because it's in its early stages,
Yep.
it it's like a child. You feed it all information and commands. So
Of course.
take it like on Facebook, if you wanted to have like a chatbot, you can now, instead of spending that time, and this is where AI becomes very powerful for someone like yourself in property, you know, it could answer questions and you could feed it so many different information. So by the time when somebody's talking, it gets to a point where you don't even realize you're speaking to a chatbot.
Of course.
And
I mean,
that's the,
you see that on live chats and everything like that, right? I mean, I have a live chat bot on my website, and when you go in there, it tells you, it gives you a message like, "How can I help you?" You know,
yeah.
and then you start talking. But then by the time the AI sorts of kicks in, I'm already on my desk replying to the messages.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So AI, it's just you got to remember it's got rules as well. So the
Yeah,
AI can be fed rules, and some people feel like it might take over the world. And what about if it educates itself, which it can do? We don't know that yet. You
yeah,
know, there was a rumor that
we can have a situation like iRobot.
yeah, exactly. So there was a rumor apparently like Google's AI started talking to the Facebook AI in a random language, and they still can't figure it out to this day. Why did that happen?
Wow.
Which is, you know, people don't realize that AI is powerful in many ways. You know, you got law firms getting documents read within minutes and then giving some outcomes to the case. It's crazy. You know, that's why for me, you know, when I left the career, it was more of about how do I help other businesses increase their digital, you know, just say their appearance online right now. So if you think of COVID right now, it's gone through the roof.
Of course.
Why? People are staying at home, they're buying more, you know, they're talking to more people about, you know, how to set up business.
Like
You know,
this
you could
live
set up a
session
business
is a
within
real
minutes.
life example of using digital media, the AI, you know, the technology that I didn't know you before this. We're talking right now as strangers. We're discussing sharing knowledge, positivity, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and how technology has brought far off people so closer. It's amazing. You know, it's just commendable how people introduce these technologies, but then it could also reverse back on yourself, right? Like you mentioned how Facebook and Google started talking to each other. But
Yeah.
yes, so once you finished your, I mean, you're still into AI and everything, but then how did you get into what came first? Did the Forex trading come first, or did the professional speaking come first?
The professional speaking came first because as I started getting into digital space, I got in, you know, asked by Microsoft and other firms to come forward and talk. And that was not something that I liked doing before because when I was younger, I had a bit of stage fright, couldn't read a poem in front of people at the age of 9 and running off the stage. So
Yep,
it was a big thing to conquer. And, you know, even today when people see me, they're like, wow, like you're talking and how does that happen? And I would always say, just get out your comfort zone, do something a few
absolutely,
times and it
absolutely.
changes you. So I got into speaking about the digital workplace, talking about how workplaces are becoming better at like people working from home. Some people don't like working from home, but when you look at the productivity, how many times do you get interrupted when you're working from home? You know, how many times can you go off and go to a cafe and go and work? You know, you could now today launch a business working sitting in
Sitting at
Starbucks.
home, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that information and digital age is now here. And you know, think about it. COVID has absolutely changed. Now you can't hot desk.
Yep.
So what are these
Absolutely.
buildings going to be for? You know, why aren't you working at home? You're getting more time with your kids. You're getting more time with family. So there's
But
pros and cons on both.
don't you think that that working from home also has a disadvantage where a man or a woman, they would go out and they would meet their colleagues, professional colleagues, you know, go to workspaces, discuss life, discuss family, all that kind of stuff. And now they're deprived of doing that. You know,
You need
it's
that.
in human nature to meet different people on a daily basis and speak to them and talk to them. It'd be business, it'd be personal, whatever. But don't you think that this technology has gone so fast that now, you know, when I was at home for 2 months, yes, there was family, kids, you got enough time to spend, all that kind of stuff. But there's a limit to doing that. You can't go to the park every day with your kids, you know, and spend 2 hours at the park and then not have any piece of business or professionalism coming out of that. Okay, companies, big companies, I'm sure they have their set works and all that kind of stuff that people have to do. So they keep themselves busy. But single business owners like myself, I go out and show properties, you know, meet landlords, meet property owners, all that kind of stuff. So don't you think that the massive amounts of use of AI is going to deprive people of that lifestyle that they once had?
It's really, you know what, you make a great point. AI is even closing down like call centers because you don't need as many people there, right?
There
And
you go.
I've not created that myself, but I've seen it happen where they've closed down call centers. We got to remember for businesses, it's always about they look at profits. Now,
Of
the
course.
people like you and me who are like the single person and then opening his business, we have a very different way. We want to meet more people because that's what generates, you know, word of mouth creates more
Of
business
course.
than
Of
anything
course.
else. And human beings, you know, we love interacting. You know, there's a reason why, like man and woman, you need to interact with each other and kids. You know, and business is exactly the same. You know, even though I saw the digital workplace happen where I was working at the time, people would still travel like twice a week into work because you need that conversation, you need that
You need to
interaction and
meet a
that team
different person.
feeling.
You can't see your
You've
wife
got to
and
have
kids the
that
whole
team
day.
feeling. You've got to have that team feeling. And that's like anything, you know, as much as people do all the Instagram lives and everything, I will always say you will still have that human interaction as well as COVID. Like right now, you know, we know the whole social distancing is happening, but people are allowed
Well,
where they are allowed. They're taking the opportunity straight
it's
away
not
to
happening
meet.
anymore, is it?
No, it's kind of
Social
gone
dis
now, right?
social distancing has gone down the drain, I guess, with all these protests and
Yeah.
everything. Um, so you were in the AI, you spoke about the AI into various businesses, how to adopt themselves in getting the AI systems on board so that they can be more functional in terms of generating better profits, better results, all that kind of stuff. Forex trading, how did that come about?
Forex trading was just a pure fluke because the guy, I think one of the guys on the call, because they've come to support me as well, but this individual just like, he's a teacher by profession
Okay,
and Pranav, he's a really nice guy. I never knew him, he was a stranger and he just came by accident because he knew I did business, I helped and worked in different areas and he's
sure.
like, look, you know, another stream of income. What would you think of like looking at Forex? And to me, it was just because for me, I'm looking at it, I'm looking, wow, that looks complex, like loads of lines going up and down like a heartbeat.
Yep, yep.
And for me, it was like, wow. And then I met another lady called Henna, a northerner, you know, in the 0161 area. She, amazing Forexer. She has a whole different energy. And you know, when you get energy like that around you,
Yep.
you then get forced into thinking, wow, like someone like that is enjoying it. I've done all this AI coding and learn all these different things. This is completely different beast. And the thing for me is like, it's scary, but it was something that I thought, you know what, why not? If what am I going to lose if I don't try it? You know, lose a
And
couple of £100 here or there, or
since you came
you
from
know, I
a
don't learn.
AI, sorry, since you came from an AI background, was it easier for you to learn the trading?
I think trading really comes down to, because it could be very lonely for people. It's really down to desire.
Yeah,
You know, because I'm around a community of like 400 or 500 people or a couple of thousand. And like I mentioned, a couple of individuals, and also Nisha herself, she's an amazing trader. But you
yep,
know, when you're trading around people that are like very, very similar minds, or they've come from different especially when they're from different backgrounds, that's when your belief goes. You
of
know, got
course.
solicitors, and all sorts of people around the world that are doing it, doctors, you know, single mothers, teachers. It just, you know what? I thought it wasn't my AI background that I need to do. I need to give it a little bit of dedication to understand how it works,
Of
you know,
course.
what works. I never knew about resistance. I never knew what a pip was, nothing. And it's like anything, you know, if you're willing to learn it a little bit, it changes your life. You know, that's like income coming from when you're like out on holiday. You
Yep.
know, it's income from
Sleeping
around
in
the
bed
world.
kind of thing, and it's
It's
moving
like
up and down, and
let's make some pocket money, right?
yep,
Quickly, and you've made some pocket money, and you know, plus the tax terms on it around it. So for me, there's a lot of things like I could look at something. There are a couple of things I would say, no, that's not for me, and
so have
other
you
stuff.
placed your deal for today?
Today I haven't, no, because I was really looking forward to this call. I really
Good
wanted
stuff.
to prepare for this call because you know what, I was really humbled that when we connected, like I've been following you for a while. I've watched quite a few of the interviews, and I was like, wow, you know what, it'd be great to work with this individual. And like when you said you're Pakistani, like my grandma's originally from Pakistan, Lahore.
Okay, good
So
stuff.
I was like, wow, like there's a lot of connections that you start finding, and you know, when you talk
Absolutely.
about the cultures and stuff. So I absolutely go back to Forex. It's kids are even doing it. You know, they're learning a skill for life. You know, how great is it that you're empowered? Back when we were younger, you're not empowered as much. Our childhood is very different. Go to school, do
Absolutely.
this, do that. Now
Absolutely.
it's like
Absolutely.
told so many things.
I mean, the first time I had my computer, I was like maybe 12 years old, and my kid today is my youngest daughter is 3 years old. She knows how to flick through YouTube, man. I'm like, where are we going? Where are
It's,
we going? So
it's
it's absolutely amazing on how technology has moved forward and how it's helped people like ourselves. You know, it'd be like you mentioned, it'd be a young kid, teenager, university going kid, business owner, an employee, all that kind of stuff. How technology has sort of pushed individuals to getting on to a different level of producing better returns, better profits, all that kind of stuff. It's mind-boggling. Um, Before we wrap up, Aman, you know, I do this with all my guests that come on my live session, and the whole
Mhm.
reason for me to do this is to spread that knowledge, to spread that positivity. So we spoke about all the knowledge that you spoke about in terms of AI and professional speaking and forex trading. But one quick message on a positive piece of advice that you would like to give to all the people that are around there. They may be going through positive moments in their life, so great on them. But a lot of them may be going through negative moments with losing their jobs, businesses going bust, losing money, maybe on forex. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
What
it.
sort of
Brilliant.
what sort of positive advice would you like to give them?
So I like to just say to anyone, look, I've been there before. You know, I've been in the state where I've been in a dark area, and you are fed a lot of negative messages every single day. So COVID, you know, as much as it's not great news, but we are in control of our feelings. How we feel all
Absolutely.
the time will determine our outcomes. If you feel good all the time, as somebody told me, you know, if you're following a lot of audios out there, it will change the way you feel every day when you get up. I've noticed when I feel good, guess what? My outcome of the day is just so smooth and quick. It changes everything. Feel good about others, you know, support your friend who's doing a new business, support someone who's learning something new. You know, there's no harm in doing something new. Take a risk on yourself in
Of
everything.
course.
Because right now, sitting at home, you're creating a big risk by not doing anything. And if you start learning something, think about it. Out of COVID, you could be the next millionaire, the next person entrepreneur. You could be the person who changes stuff. And like I say, like, you know, we're all like a candle. Like one candle lights up a room,
Of
but a
course.
million candles around the world lights up the globe. So think about it like that. You know, we are inspirations for our new generation that are coming, our older generation. You know, all I would just say, if you're a spiritual person or someone who's into God or energy, whatever you want to call it, remain focused, have belief in yourself, have that drive, that, really, really visualize what you have. Don't create vision boards, create a visual environment,
Of
and,
course.
and change the way you're thinking, because how you think every day will always be the outcome you get. So whatever happens, your paradigms and the way you think, you've got to change them. I'm thankful that, and surround yourself with amazing people. Some people you're going to have to leave in your life, and some people you're going to have to bring into your life, and they are the people that are going to lift you. I find strangers are biggest, like yourself, like a stranger I'd be more tied to a stranger than some of my close people that
Closest
I have,
friends.
because they seem to cheer
Absolutely.
you on. So I
Absolutely.
want to say to everyone, look,
Because a stranger does not know you, right? And they're thinking from outside the box rather than thinking on your sort of level. So they will give you the advice or whatever talk that you want to have with them. So it's amazing to know that. Thank you so much for turning
perfect.
up and spending your time. I'm sure you've got some trades lined up right now and you're going to look at them. So good luck with all of that and good luck in whatever you're doing. Um, it's been a pleasure to host you and sharing all these pieces of knowledge. I'm sure the viewers took a great deal of advice in whatever you're doing, and if you're interested in any of the things that Aman is doing, hit him up and DM him. I'm sure he'll be able to help. So thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
coming
Have
on
a
here
blessed
and
day and
sharing.
much love, my brother,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you very much. I'll catch you soon. Take care of yourself.
Take care. Bye bye. So that was Aman all the way from Leicester, who is a individual who creates digital spaces by using AI, professional speaker, and a Forex trader. Go hit him up and see what he does, how he does it. I'm sure he'll be able to advise you on different things that he does. Again, I've got a live session, the last one for today, which is at 1 p.m. in the next half an hour with a real estate agent based in Dubai. We're going to be speaking about the Dubai real estate market along with the UK real estate market and how things have changed due to COVID, before COVID, after COVID, all that kind of stuff. I want to know about the Dubai real estate market as well. So it's going to be good. Do tune in 1 p.m. in the next 30 minutes. Thank you so much to Aman for turning up and sharing all that knowledge that he did. Thank you to all the viewers. Wow, my God, I've had some amazing viewers on here sharing all these comments. Thank you to you guys, and I'm sure you must have picked up some great advice from this live. Take care, and I shall see you in 30 minutes. Take care. Bye bye.